Hello. In the last video, we talked about powerful opening. A powerful opening is very similar to an aircraft taking off. And today, let's talk about an impactful closing. Well, it's not good enough for an aircraft to take off very well. It also has to land safely with all the passengers. Similarly, it's not good enough for a speaker just to have a powerful opening. It's also important that the speaker carries the audience with him and lands safely. So a safe landing is your impactful closing. So while powerful opening is important, at the same time an impactful closing is also equally important. There is something called primacy and recency effect. Essentially what it means is most people in your audience would probably remember what you said at the beginning and what you said at the end. And most of them would forget what was said in between. So this shows the importance of a powerful opening and an impactful closing. So what are the different ways you can close your speech impactfully or end your speech with an impression, with a mark? Well, there are possibly a few ways that you can do that. One of the ways to do that is call to action. Most speakers or most great speakers would actually end their speech with a call to action. Take the example of a politician in an election campaign would probably request the voters or the audience to vote for him. And let's look at an example. Probably a political leader speaking in an election campaign might end his speech like this. My dear friends, as everything that I have discussed with you, shared with you, now I am fairly confident and sure that you are going to strengthen my hands by casting your vote in my favor and enable me to serve you better. This is an example of call to action by a political speaker. What about a person who is running a charity campaign? He or she probably would end the speech by saying, "Dear friends, I would now request you to contribute to this great cause and help millions of young children living in slums who are deprived of food, shelter, clothing, and education." This is another example of a call to action by a speaker who is running a charity campaign. What about a salesman who is doing a sales pitch? Of course, he would end the speech with a call to action by requesting his audience to buy the product. So these are examples of call to action which can be used in the closing of your speech. What else we can do to close our speech? Probably we can also end the speech with a powerful quote by a famous person. A speaker talking about the importance of teamwork and collaboration, etc., probably end his speech with a very, very powerful quote. Here is an example. My dear friends, as we get ready to start our new mission, I would like to remind you of one thing, that coming together is the beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. What an impactful way to close your speech with a quote by a great person. Let's look at some other ways of closing your speech. Another way possibly could be to summarize what you said in your body of your speech. This is helpful because the moment you are about to summarize, people know that you have almost reached the end of your speech. And this will help them recall what you said, and this will also help them remember what you said even after they leave that place. So sometimes, or most of the time, summarizing your speech in conclusion is very, very helpful. Another way to conclude your speech can be making a very impactful, inspiring statement. A speaker who was addressing a bunch of university students who are about to graduate in the convocation ceremony, this speaker said, "My dear makers and shapers and builders of this nation, as you get ready to begin your career in the industry, I would wish you all the best." So this is another example, a very inspiring example of an impactful closing. Another way possibly could be to end with a story which relates to the central theme of your speech, which relates to the main idea of your speech. So these are different ways that you can actually conclude your speech, make a mark, make a difference. People would remember your speech for a long, long, long time. So how are you going to end your next speech? Are you thinking about it? Let me wish you all the best as you get ready for your next speech. Thank you.